And the Oscar goes to... Birdman. I don't know why I did that. Birdman stars Michael Keaton, Zach Galifianakis, Edward Norton, Emma Stone, Amy Ryan, Naomi Watts. Birdman is about a washed-up movie star played by Michael Keaton, who's trying to revitalize his career by making it big on Broadway by writing, directing, and starring in an adaptation of a famous novel. That synopsis alone is probably enough to make you fall asleep, but trust me, this movie, it's actually pretty damn good. 20 years ago, Keaton's character Regan Thompson was famous for playing the iconic superhero Birdman. And the reason I love that so much is because just a little over 20 years ago, Michael Keaton played the very first Batman. This movie poked fun at the world of superhero movies. Quick little jokes about how their play can't get Robert Downey Jr. or Michael Fassbender because they're busy shooting Iron Man and X-Men. A little Birdman voice in Keaton's head told him that could have been his if he didn't screw it all up by not doing Birdman 4. I mean, stuff like that was just really funny. Quick little inside jokes about the superhero world that didn't take away from the overall experience of the movie. And Edward Norton's in this movie, and he plays kind of a spoof of himself as this guy who's hard to deal with on set, doesn't learn the lines, does whatever he wants. And there's been so much rumors and reports that that's kind of what he's like in real life, so it's pretty funny that he would actually spoof himself in that way. And Emma Stone's in this movie. She plays the daughter of Michael Keaton. And she plays kind of a low-key character compared to what she's usually been, but still a very intense performance, especially a scene where she tells her father that he's meaningless and has no purpose in life and it doesn't matter at all. Very powerful stuff from her. Zach Galifianakis is in this, and he plays a very different character than from Alan and the Hangover and all that other stuff. But he's just as funny, but in a completely different context. In every scene he's in, there's laughter, and that's one of the things I loved about this movie. This movie made me laugh out loud more than any movie I've seen this year. And another great thing about this movie is all the underlying themes that it has. It's got themes of existence, themes of life, themes of where you go in your life, themes of failure, themes of love, themes of pretending to be someone you're not. I mean, this movie really is all over the place, but in one confined area, and I mean that in a good way. But the best part about this movie, and it's what everyone's talking about, so why wouldn't I talk about it, is how this movie is shot. This is maybe the greatest editing I've ever seen in a film. This whole movie appears to be one 2-hour-long tracking shot where the camera never stops and the audience never gets to take a break, and that is amazing. So much chatter at the beginning of the year, rightfully so, about True Detective's 7 minutes in hell scene where Matthew McConaughey's character goes to the stash house and it never cuts, and that is amazing. Picture that for 2 hours non-stop. Clearly they do cut, otherwise they would film the whole movie in 2 hours, but the way it's edited, you cannot see a transition, you cannot see a cut. It moves seamlessly, whether we're on stage, the corridors, the dressing rooms, Times Square, the bar, here and there. It never cuts. It's brilliant directing. I was blown away 2 minutes into the movie, and 2 hours later I was still on the edge of my seat based on the tracking shots alone. Besides the tracking shot, the other thing that makes this movie so great is Michael Keaton's performance. This is a rebirth and a resurgence for Michael Keaton. Not only is he going to be nominated for an Oscar, I will guarantee right now he's going to win the Oscar. The Academy loves comeback stories. McConaughey got it last year for Dallas Buyers Club, and I don't see a scenario in which he doesn't win. I know we got Steve Carell and Cumberbatch and all that. Tom Hardy for Locke is what I think should win, but that won't happen. So I do believe that Keaton is going to win the Oscar for this performance, and I have no problem with that. He kills it in this movie. The score in this movie is loved too. It was just one drum beat the whole time, now and then. Really set the mood. It all felt in the moment. It felt gritty. And that's what I loved about this movie. An artsy movie like this, about the resurgence of a career on a Broadway play, shouldn't feel this gritty and badass, but it does. I was never bored for 1 second in this movie. The dialogue, it's so fast and so witty. There's a scene, the first scene we see Edward Norton in, where he just tells Michael Keaton, let's start rehearsing right here. I don't need the script, let's go. And the fast-paced dialogue, I mean, it was just mesmerizing to watch. These two actors, I mean, I just said Keaton's probably going to win the Oscar. I think Edward Norton should be at least nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Phenomenal job by him. This is really one of the most unique movies I've ever seen, really based on the editing itself, but also the story. I mean, the story's not flawless. I wasn't the biggest fan of how it ended. I thought it could have been cut down about 10 minutes. There was a spot just near the end where I thought if it ended, it would have been perfect. but they kept going. It didn't hurt the film, but I thought it would have been better if it had stopped where I thought it was going to. And another great thing about this movie is how it compared summertime blockbusters to art house films, and how audiences will go and pay to see the cash grab big summer blockbusters like Transformers 4 over a movie such as Birdman, when it is clearly superior, and it had no problem poking fun at the fact that it's probably not going to make a lot of money, but it should. This movie, even though I was excited to see it and I was anticipated to see it, it still blew me away. I couldn't take my mind off it all night, even laying in bed. It's one of the best movies of the year. It's one of the most unique movies I've seen in this decade. I would put it up there with Locke in terms of unique and different styles of storytelling. This one's going to be on everyone's top 10 list. It's probably going to be on mine. This movie is going to walk away with a couple gold statues this February. I give this movie 3.75 out of 4 reels. Go see it if you haven't. It just got worldwide release this week. It is phenomenal. You will not be disappointed. As always, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and read the written review for Birdman on ReelsGuide.com. I'll put the link in the description below. And until next time, have a good one, everybody.